Last night, 2 a.m. here, our time, Werewolf by Night dropped.
That's correct.
We were gonna do a pre-show for it.
We were ready.
But we couldn't.
That's true.
But we did watch it.
I was picked off by a werewolf myself, actually.
And honestly, it was very good. It was really, really unique.
Yeah.
It was one of the most unique comic book things that I'd ever seen, but definitely one of the more unique Marvel things that I'd ever seen. Now, the only thing that I could compare it to, and I hate doing this because, but it is what it is, but it had that WandaVision thing to it, again, that it's just so different. Like,
Right.
what is this? WandaVision, especially earlier on when we were watching those first couple of black and white sitcom episodes, we were just like, what are we doing here? What are we watching? What did they make?
Right.
And that definitely is kind of how this felt. It was like, whoa, this is different.
Right.
And
Like, what am I about to
this
watch?
is really, really different. And as it went on and on further, all the way to the end, it just continued to be really different. Obviously, it's in black and white, which I love. It seems that they went that direction to be able to be more gruesome and have more gore, because you can't see the blood. So you can see it, but it's black instead of red. So and I actually read this morning that Marvel initially, completely rejected the idea of doing it black and white and thought that, we can't do it, we don't want to. But they were kind of, led to believe that this was the best way to go. And I clearly believe that was right. But that being said, again, I really, really enjoyed it. Some of the highlights for me, the stuff between Man-Thing and Werewolf, like the buddy stuff. God, come on, man. Give me the Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night, buddy cop movie. Right? They're just out, trying. It's not even, they're just trying to, be them. They're not,
Right.
they don't want to hurt people or mess with anything, so they're just
Right.
trying to
They don't want to
be
really
out
save
there.
anyone. They just want to kind of stay.
I
out of
love
trouble.
that Man-Thing can brew coffee. I mean,
That's
I
hilarious.
didn't know how much in my life I needed that. But yes, Man-Thing can brew coffee. So if I ever do meet him in another life, he could brew me a cup. So that's pretty awesome.
Right. That's right.
And I loved, the display of his powers. If you don't know anything about Man-Thing, if you fear him, then when he touches you, it will burn you. And so when we see him walk out, first time we see him, and he launches at the bearded hunter guy, and he's like, "Rah!" He puts the fear of God into the dude, and then he grabs him like this, and when he does, it burns the dude into dust because the dude
Terrifying.
is right.
That's a genius. That's amazing.
Right, but what also is great about it too, again, and following that same line, is when Werewolf by Night first, when we first see Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night sees him in between the trees, the first thing that Werewolf does is he reaches in and they embrace each other, and there's no burning because he's not afraid of Man-Thing. It's his buddy.
Right.
What was his name again?
Jack?
No. Ted, right?
Ted.
Yeah,
Ted.
it's
Yeah,
Ted.
the man thing, yeah.
Ted, come on. I mean,
That's hysterical.
honestly, at first, I was a little like, oh, man, this might be too silly. But I ended up really enjoying what they did with Man-Thing.
Right.
I thought they honored the character well. God, I would love to see more of that. And I hope we do. The guy that played Werewolf by Night was great. All the acting was great. The lady that played who I thought was Jessica Jones for a while was great. Definitely not Jessica Jones. I loved the action of it, the gore. That scene where she kills the Japanese guy and she has to roll over into the little garden and hold his mouth so the guy with the axe doesn't hear him. That was great. The scene where he's turning into the werewolf and we have the flashing of the light, and you have that old school You can see it happening on the wall.
Right.
Oh God, I love that. I really, really love it. I love the old horror tropes. I loved the kind of homage to it. You know, me and Shane talked about earlier this week that maybe that they were gonna kind of poke fun at that era because kind of as film goers, we kind of do, right?
Right.
We
Yeah,
kind of
kinda
do
joke
now.
about
We
it,
kind
yeah.
of poke fun at.
It's been
at,
seen so
I mean,
many
even if
times,
you think
it's-
about Nosferatu is poked fun at in like SpongeBob.
Yeah, right,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, right. I mean, Nosferatu is in SpongeBob.
Yeah, and he is. He's a character
Right,
inside of that world of SpongeBob.
And so we kind of, you know, Bela Lugosi's Dracula, you know, all of these things are kind of in a way poked fun at now. So we thought that there's a chance that they you know, do that. And I thought that would kind of be cool in a way because, you know, but they didn't do that. They went into the way of fully honoring and taking these films for the
Right.
seriously, like me and Shane said, what probably were at the time frightening films to see.
Yeah.
I mean, in 1940, to see Bela Lugosi's Dracula was probably disturbing, where
Right.
watching it now may be funny. But they did an excellent job of bringing us that in 2022.
Yes.
And
yes,
God,
exactly.
I thought it was
was
really,
creepy.
really, really well made. I really do. Honestly, I'm just gonna say it. As well as Miss Marvel was, I mean, and it really was, guys. If you haven't checked out Miss Marvel, what are you waiting on? Go check
Please,
that
go
out.
watch
I
that
know it
show.
doesn't
So
maybe
good.
seem like it could be for you, but
It is. It is for you.
it is a great show. But I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna come out and say it. The best thing Marvel that I've seen this year is Werewolf by Night. It is. It is. It's hands down the best thing Marvel I've seen this year. Now, it is also hands down my favorite thing Marvel that I've seen this year too. And usually those things aren't always, you know, typically in line with each other. But in this case, they are. Like it was my favorite and it was the best. It really was. And yeah, I don't know if there's much more I can say about it. Trevor, you had a chance to check out Werewolf by Night.
Indeed.
What are give us some of your thoughts on it?
So I definitely was hoping to watch it last night, but I sat down and I fell asleep. So I watched it this morning. And, you know, mornings are not conducive for dark, creepy horror movies, but my gosh, if they did not make something amazing here. I mean, like, I love Marvel. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm not ashamed of it at all. I love them. I love everything Marvel. I mean, even a lot of their stuff that a lot of people don't like. Like, I still will. I'll enjoy a good Thor Ragnarok. But but I think one critique that you could levy against Marvel is the fact that they don't have like the most inspired camera movements or textures with a lot of the ways their films are set. A few of the newer ones are starting to get a little bit better about that, especially when the Russo brothers are at the helm. They're very good at that texturization kind of thing. But a lot of it kind of has like a shallow depth in the filming itself, which there's so much cool stuff going on with the writing and the characters that it doesn't pull me away from it. But this was like, this had that depth of shot. This had those great moments of just good filmmaking. And it also had that Marvel stuff in it. It had that kind of charming, fun Marvel element into it, like calling the monster Ted and having that, like, you know, and having both of those people be like intelligent and, you know, at least sarcastic, at least have some version of humor about them, you know. So and what you're saying, Key, about it's like how things like Bela Lugosi would be terrifying at the time. What I thought this thing did so well was it gave that atmosphere and that creepy attention to detail that they did have in that time. But those movies, we don't tend to be so like scared of them anymore because our context in life has changed. What scares us has changed so much that a dude coming at you with wide eyes and hands in front of him just isn't as scary. We've seen so many more things. We've been through years and years and years of entertainment. So you could call it we've been numbed or jaded or whatever, but our sensibilities have changed. And so what this did is it knew what our sensibilities were, and it took those sensibilities and it placed it in this beautifully shot and classically trained type of film. And it worked so well because it was so, I'm telling you, I watched it in the morning, I was still creeped out all the time, but still always had that kind of like, I want to see more of it now because I liked that werewolf character so much, and I loved the chemistry he had both with the man thing, with Man Thing, Ted, and the lady, and I thought that they all were great together, and it was just a fun little adventure, and it was so different from like the rest of Marvel that I would just continuously forget it was a superhero show, and I was like, oh, sweet, it's Halloween, baby, it's time to watch some creepy gore stuff. And that's exactly what it was. It was exactly what I wanted. Like, I couldn't be happier. And honestly, I wouldn't say like I was like afraid for Marvel's future or anything going in. There was a few movies in a row that
just starting to get worried.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say you give me a universe as good as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you're gonna have a lot of credit. Like if you make like a couple bad movies, I'm like, oh yeah, baby, but it's Marvel. We'll get there. But it was starting to get to the point where Spider-Man was great. But and Shang-Chi was good. It was a good movie, but it just didn't hit me as hard as I wanted it to. And Black Widow was kind of the same. It was kind of mid-level, like phase 1 kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, this is decent, but I've seen them do so much better. And then there was the several of their their shows were just very mid. I mean, they had a really good start with WandaVision, but then a few of the other ones they never rose above like decent, and there were some that I was just disappointed in. Like Hawkeye I was mad that it existed. It was just like all the way through, it didn't do anything. I was bored. I was like, why am I even watching this? And Moon Knight was just disappointing because it had such a good premise, such a good cast, and they just didn't give it enough time to breathe. So I was starting to get to a point where I was feeling that way. But then, between Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and especially this, I think they're starting to find the new footing, which is more, less of a focused overall story and more like, let's just try, let's be in this world where we know we're all in the same world, but let's have it be a little more separate. Let's do some very different, fun, like, they always had different genres, the movies, but now they're like doubling down on the genre, and I like that, and I think if they can keep doing that, I always had like a lot of loyalty for them, but I'm gonna keep being excited.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally understandable, guys. I want to read a couple of the things that some critics are saying about Werewolf by Night now. Over here, but Black Bee Buzz, we got Lanita Cook that says, Werewolf by Night is a streamlined mercy in contemporary cinema, a true ensemble horror adventure that's as good the third time as it is the first. Here's another one that says, this is by Dylan Roth at The Observer. A top critic says, Werewolf by Night is a charming tribute not only to the pulpy horror comics on which it's based, but to the scary and silly classic cinema that a generation of film lovers grew up watching late at night on local television. And again, these are just some of the things that people are saying about it, that are enjoying about it. And most people are enjoying it. I mean, if we go over here, we take a look at the actual scores. I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, the audience has got it at a 97% and critics got it at a 92%. Pretty much everyone's enjoying this. And again, look, guys, it's October. If you guys haven't seen this yet, go check it out, man. It's the weekend now, so you got plenty of time, We'll probably talk about it more on the show on Monday when Shane's here and get his take on Werewolf by Night and Hocus Pocus and Hellraiser and some of the other scary movies that have come out over the weekend. But yeah, guys, what about you guys? Have you guys had a chance to check out Werewolf by Night last night? Are you going to check it out this weekend? If you already have checked it out, did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Let us know down in the comment section below what you guys thought.